I'm not gonna lie, bro. You're doing self improvement the wrong way. Now, one of the things that used to kind of choke me up was the fact that I would compare my own journey to someone else's, right? So when I was in the producer space, there was this one producer that I used to watch. I can't remember who it is, but I used to watch him, and I remember him interviewing this one younger producer. He was like, I think 17 or 18, like at the time, and he was just like, yeah, bro, I started making beats when I was when I was 14, and I'm seeing actual progress now. Now, mind you, I'm like 24 at the time, and I'm just like, dang, dude, I've been doing producing for like what 3 years now, and I ain't see no progress. But the whole time, no, I didn't realize that like my journey was totally different from his. In my mind, I thought that if I put the amount of hours in, and I was staying consistent, because I was, right, and all that other stuff, that I would kind of be where he was, right? But what he didn't tell any of us, like what he didn't say was, what he had to give up to in order to be at his caliber of producer. I didn't realize that maybe he had to sacrifice something. And the thing is, I wasn't willing to sacrifice like anything, right? Because I still did what I wanted to do. I still, like, I didn't sit making beats all day every day. I didn't fully lock in, right? I wasn't as locked in as he was. Now, mind you, I probably would have seen progress if I would have just been able to lock in fully, right? And I had the chance to do so. So I didn't like, if I had all the time, why not use it, right? So that's kind of like the thing. One other thing that I never even considered was the fact that the camera never showed the days where he was frustrated, the days where he was, happy, sad, excited, like the days where he wanted to just kind of like, quit and give up. That was never shown on camera, right? And now, and it's kind of like, and that's kind of like what made me realize, like, wow, okay, maybe he's been in my shoes. Because how I took it, as I thought that he kind of started out, he was already kind of like, just naturally gifted, and he just was able to like progress much faster due to his talents. No, it just, I didn't know the ins and outs. So that's why I'm saying you can never compare yourself to someone's journey, because you never really truly know what they had to go through, sacrifice, all of that, right? And that is one reason why. Now, I was notorious for doing this. Like, when it comes to rushing the progress, bro, when it comes to rushing the progress, I swear to God, I swear to God, this was my forte. Like, I can even do a whole full guide on how to rush. Like, I swear. Listen, when you rush the process, you are telling yourself that basically natural progression doesn't matter, and you would rather have half of progression than not the full progression, right? What do I mean by this? Now, when I used to watch tutorials on how to make certain type of beats on YouTube, right? What I used to do is I never watched like the full tutorial through. I never seen no like tech no techniques. I never seen anybody do anything. What I used to do was I would watch the first 5 minutes of like the tutorial, check out what the beat sounded like, and then say in my head, oh, okay, cool, I got it, right? Because see, in my mind, I had already made beats for so long that anything new I must have already known, right? And it's like, well, how does that make sense, right? Like, not like looking back, but that's kind of how it was. So I would sit there in FL Studio, and I would kind of mess around, and make the beat, but it was like it. You could tell it didn't have no soul, no flavor, no nothing. It was just that. So I would get like, I guess, discouraged, and I would just kind of like exit off the program and go play the game. And that's kind of like a micro, like a well, a yeah, a micro point. Is when you rush the process, that's an excuse to do to do other things that you want to do. That's the excuse, right? And it's like, I don't know. It's just I just use it as a scapegoat because truth be told, and this is like, and this is like, and this, and I know for a fact that somebody actually feels like this, but you're just not willing to say it. Truth be told, you don't actually want to do it. When it came to making beats, I am not going to lie, on most days, I did not want to do that. I did not want to do it at all. That is why I rushed the process. That's why I compared myself to other people. I did not want to do it. I wanted an excuse. I wanted the excuse to be like, okay, well, I mean, you know, well, since I rushed the process and I kind of feel bad, well, I guess I just can't do it, right? And it's like, truth and point, I wanted the result more than doing, I wanted the result more than I wanted to do the work. That was it. I wanted the result. You know what I'm saying? Because when I went into producing, I wanted, I wanted the, purest, you could say fantasies where, like, I wanted the gold plaques. I wanted the notoriety. I wanted this. I wanted that. I wanted, everything that came with that. But when it was time to put into to the work, I gave myself every excuse because I could not admit to myself that I did not want to do the work. I wasn't I wasn't able to be honest. And that's really like the main point, is the reason why self-improvement is not working for you is because you are not willing to be honest with yourself. Everything else is literally just an excuse so that you can just say, "Oh, well, I tried the thing, whatever." Like, that's the whole thing. Like, you that's kind of like how people is in general. But when you actually do something, the most important lesson is you have to put your heart into it. You can't halfway, right? And let me tell you something, right? And this goes back to rushing the actual process. When you rush the process, you give up so many things, right? Now, when I was a producer and I was used to rushing the actual process, right? Do you know that I couldn't really participate in, like, group sessions where I would be with other producers and we would like make beats together? I would I couldn't do that. Like, I couldn't just, right, be and it's really because I rushed the process. Like, I thought that I was ready. I wasn't really ready, right? I wasn't ready at all because I didn't learn anything. I didn't know anything. And that made me feel uncomfortable. Like, not in a good way, but like in a bad way. That made me feel uncomfortable, bro. And again, that too was another reason why I didn't actually want to do it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Like, I don't know. That was like a whole nother reason as to why I just didn't want to do it. So it was just like, so I guess your next question, if you made it this far into like the video, right? So if I'm doing it wrong, how do I do self-improvement right? Self-improvement starts in your mind. Okay? So, in order for you to do self-improvement right, you have to make your mind up. Now, I've already said this in other videos, but you have to make your mind up. Okay? It is as simple as that. If you're gonna do self improvement, you gotta make your mind up, bro, and you gotta just lock in, which all sounds like generic. But here's the thing, though: when you make your mind up, you have to relentlessly go after that thing. Like again, lock in, right? No, I mean you have to think of yourself as a professional. No matter what the weather is, you have to do the thing that you said that you were going to do. Listen, case in point, I just got out of a 15-hour work shift. These past 3 days, so from Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, today is currently Thursday, I have worked 15 hours at my job, right? Now, if I was an amateur, I would consider myself to be just out of luck, no video, whatever. But because I am so dedicated to YouTube and I consider myself to be a professional YouTuber, I have to put out a video regardless. And I literally have to leave my house in about 10 minutes to go to my other job. You have to be dedicated. You have to be a professional in self improvement. You do, because it's for you. It benefits you and you only. So you have to think of yourself as a professional. And that is how you gain the ability to really work through all your, I guess, bad habits with self improvement, right? And one other thing, if you feel like you're going through any of these, whether you were comparing yourself, whether you were rushing the process, or if you don't want to really do the whole thing, don't feel bad. Just take a deep breath, slow down, and you're gonna be all right, gang. Just keep going, keep going, right? Keep going. Now, if you don't want to do the thing, okay, do something else that you actually want to do, right? It seems simple, but if it was simple, I wouldn't be saying this now, would I? Right? All right, cool. So if you found any value out of this video, please give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. I really do appreciate you if you do that for me. And let me know if any of these points actually, like, if any of these 3 points actually, resonate with you, or if you have done these like in the past, right? So again, with that being said, peace.